One of the frontrunners for the Democratic Party in 2020, who seems to be leading the way in terms of popularity, is Representative Tulsi Gabbard from Hawaii. Now, she has built her career on the last couple years decrying intervention in other countries. She's had a very strong anti-war voice, and this has attracted a lot of public support to her, people who are tired of the endless wars. But here's the thing. She's already taken over $100,000 from weapons manufacturers. So it makes you kind of think twice about that. Not only that, when you look at in depth at her record when it comes to militancy, you see it's not quite the public face that she's putting to everybody, and that there's much more going on here. In fact, she was supposedly so anti-war, her campaign said this: "Every time we launch these interventionist regime change wars, it is not only our veterans who pay the price for that. Every single one of us pays the price. We have spent trillions of your taxpayer dollars to pay for these wars, taking those dollars away from our community and our people who need them right here at home." Of course, the American people are the real victims here, and of course, the soldiers who chose to go and fight for the empire are the real victims here, not, the people that were killed by the U.S. Army. Of course not, because they're not really part of that consideration. That meme where it says, if we invade your country, 20 years later, we'll make a movie about how sad it made us killing you. Now, Gabbard calls herself a hawk when she talks about things that she perceives are a threat to the U.S. She supports the use of drones and counterterrorism, one of the biggest products that are being put out by weapons manufacturers. And it's not like drones have a massive history of slaughtering innocent people by huge numbers. Well, they do, and that seems to be a bit of a problem. However, she doesn't seem to have a problem with that. It seems to be, if you're okay with the a remote controlled plane going around shooting and killing people. I mean, as long as your own soldiers don't die, then I guess it's okay, right? I mean, I guess that's okay, because then nothing bad actually happened. She also said that terrorism is a product of Islam, she has repeatedly said. She justified in voting with the GOP to make it harder for refugees, especially from Syria. You know that country that you're bombing and creating refugees from? Yeah, that's Tulsi Gabbard and the supposed liberal bleeding heart that she actually has. She is completely dumping on the migrants that come to the United States to get away from the wars that the United States government causes. That's her as a member of the United States government. So apparently she feels really bad for U.S. soldiers, but not the people who are victimized by U.S. soldiers. There's your first world nationalism. Now, she has cultivated associations with hard right-wing governments, including Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, both of which who highly discriminate against their Muslim populations inside their country and essentially blame them, or especially in the case of Modi, blame them for completely nonsense things. For the history of Modi, I would suggest a very quick Google search. I don't know how that guy got elected, but whatever. And they see Muslims as a security threat too. I mean, not the fact that they might be lashing out the way that the government dumps on them or discriminates them or violates their rights in any way, but, And she supports the system that sells them weapons too. She's okay with that. I mean, look at her record on Palestine. She essentially, without coming out and actually saying it, essentially defends the Israeli genocide against Palestinians. So keep that in mind if you happen to be deciding that maybe you want to vote for Tulsi Gabbard because she's the anti-war candidate, which on the surface would be the good thing to do, would be to vote anti-war. If you can't vote out capitalism, at least try to vote out the wars, if it's possible. But in this case, Tulsi Gabbard has tried to bill herself as the anti-war candidate when it's very clear that she is not. And not only is she taking at least $100,000 from some of the biggest producers of bombs and planes and weapon systems inside the United States, she just seems to come down on the kill Muslims side an awful lot. All while, of course, claiming to be a progressive Democrat, give me the free stuff, give me the health care and the education, but slaughter innocent people, kind of thing. I mean, like the perfect example of first worldism in general. So just try to keep that in mind if you do decide that you want to tactically vote anti-war in 2020.
Thank you for watching. If you like this program, then please head over to my Patreon page and set up a monthly donation. It's your donations that keep this program running. Also, if you would like, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share in various social media.